subconscious beliefs that a lot of times you have to believe in order to stay stuck, in order to stay trapped in a toxic relationship. You might not realize that you're even in a toxic relationship, but these three beliefs might make up part of your MO, part of the life that you're currently living that right now has you trapped inside of toxicity. Maybe you don't even realize that it's a toxic relationship because your nervous system is so screwed up. You think that this is just what relationships are. This is just what is normal. And if you got into a healthy relationship, you'd probably even push it away simply because that's not what you're used to. Maybe because of where you grew up or how you grew up, the people that you had in your life that showed and conditioned you for such a long period of time, that toxicity was the normal, was the regular aspect of life. Today, we're going to talk about three of the main reasons of subconscious beliefs that you actually have that keep you stuck in a toxic relationship. One of the ones that's the most popular is you think that you can fix the toxic guy that's in your life. You think that you can fix him. You think that you can make him more empathetic, that you can make him more loving, that you can make him actually understand you, actually listen to you. But the problem is you've been trying to do this for a long period of time. In fact, you've been doing a build-a-man project. You keep trying to put this guy together, and as a result, nothing's actually shifting, nothing's happening. He's still in a place where he doesn't show you any attention, doesn't show any validation, isn't there for you empathetically, isn't there even vulnerably, and let's just face it, he's been lying to you for a good period of time. But the problem is you start to think over a period of time that you can fix them. That if you support him enough, if you give him enough attention, if you give him enough love, energy, sex, that maybe he'll actually pay attention to you. Maybe he'll switch something up. Maybe he'll change. We have to start realizing that you can't change anyone. You can't force anything upon anyone else. But this is one of the beliefs that you will believe that keeps you stuck inside of a toxic relationship, that you believe that you can fix the guy that's in your life. The second thing inside of here is simply just this piece that you start to believe that this is how relationships are. It's the norm. It's the aspect of this is the reality that you're currently in and the reality that you're always going to be in. It becomes normal because you're used to it based on your upbringing, based on your childhood, based on like your house, like everything that has been a part of your life, you get used to it. You get used to toxicity. Maybe you grew up in a home where love was inconsistent, where it had to be earned, where it had to be something that you had to do to be able to get any type of acceptance, validation, or love. And you do this in the same relationship as you move into where you are now. Living with your husband and trying to figure out, why won't he pay attention to me? Why won't he actually love me? Why won't he actually care? Because there's a piece of it that you don't even question it. There's a piece of it that you expect him just to come home, be able to provide by giving a paycheck and then just plopping down the couch. Doesn't interact with you, doesn't connect with you, doesn't take you out on dates, doesn't love you, doesn't spend time with you, and doesn't invest in any type of leadership with the kids either. And you're left with the weight of it all. But the problem is you start to think this is just how relationships are supposed to be because that's what was showcased to you inside of your own childhood. The third piece and the third subconscious belief is oftentimes this aspect that you think that you're the problem. Now, if you really sit with it for a while, you might tell yourself that you're not the problem. But unfortunately, he's the one that keeps pressing and pushing you to think that you are the problem because he keeps telling you over and over and over that you're the issue, that you're the problem, that if you wouldn't do this, that if you wouldn't be so emotional, if you wouldn't be so overbearing, if you wouldn't do this, if you wouldn't do this, all different types of things that he's putting and placing back on you, making you think that it's your fault. Making you think that it's your fault that he's cheating on you, making you think that it's your fault that he's being unfaithful, that he's going out and he's doing different things that you're like, why? Well, he's trying to make you feel like it's your fault and that you're the problem so that he doesn't have to experience any of the guilt, any of the shame, and he doesn't have to change anything. But he can say the same no matter what. Consider for a moment that there's these three subconscious beliefs that will keep you trapped in a cycle of toxic relationships. You will believe that you're the problem. You believe that this is just how relationships are. You believe that you can fix him. You can't. You can't fix him. This is not what a true healthy relationship should look like. And you're not the problem. His decisions are the problem. The choices that he's making are the problem. Not how it's affecting you, because he doesn't care about that. His choices are the thing that's hurting you. That's making you feel like it's all on you, that the weight is all on you. How many of you watching this right now would say, yeah, these are some of the things I struggle with. These are some of the things I deal with. These are the things that I'm confused about even. How many of you watching this right now would just say, me? Just type in me into the chat. Like, hey, Ben, this is something that I struggle with. I struggle thinking that I'm the problem. Thinking that no matter what I do, it's still something that I'm not good enough. It's still something that I've messed up. It's still something that I've screwed up. Maybe you're looking at this and you're like, hey, I'm struggling because like this is how I've felt and I've been conditioned with my husband for such a long period of time that he's just told me this is what it's supposed to be like. I'm not supposed to talk to friends about our relationship. I'm not supposed to involve family in our discussions. I'm not supposed to talk to anybody. I'm just supposed to bury it deep inside. He says this has to be just between the two of us, but I feel like I'm dying inside. You feel like you're the problem. You feel like you're responsible. You feel like this is just how relationships are supposed to be. How many of you feel that way? How many of you feel like you've held on to this hope for too long that you can change him? And it's a piece that you've been working on this for a long period of time. You've invested a lot of time, energy, even money into this guy. And for what? Like if we take a cold, hard assessment, if you look at just the facts of the relationship, have you actually changed him? Is he better? Is he different? If you're watching my page, probably not. But you've been trying to do something that is not in your realm to do because it has to take a decision on his part to actually want the change. There's a difference between him saying that he wants the change and him actually acting upon wanting the change. Majority of guys will say, I want to change. But the amount of effort that they put into actually changing, zero. So at the end of the day, you have to question, does he actually want the change if he's not willing to change? And you also have to understand you can't change him. You'll stay for far too long trying to change him, trying to think that this is just what relationships are, and telling yourself that you are the problem. You're not. He's going to implant these thoughts into your mind over a period of time. He's going to drive these thoughts into your mind like a stake through the heart, 1 pound at a time, slowly and slowly and slowly eradicating your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own idea about who you even are, and replacing it with his own thoughts, replacing it with what he wants you to be, a servant, a slave to him. And as a result, you're left thinking, I'm the problem. Maybe this is me. Maybe if I did something different, then I could change him. Maybe I could wake him up. Maybe I could give him the right potion and he'd magically understand that he's toxic. You can't. Many times people look at me and they're like, but you changed. There's a different version of you now than what there was before. And I'm like, yes, there is. And they're like, but what did your wife do? What did she do to wake you up? How did she fix you? How did she make you love her better? How did she make you do this? And I'm like, she didn't. The number one thing that my wife did to wake me up from any type of narcissistic abuse and from the asshole that I was being is that she packed up her bags and she left. And nobody wants to hear that. Because what they want to hear is, how do I fix him myself? Can I tell you something? You can't. You're not God, and you don't have the ability to force another person to change. And even if you did, he would revert right back like a rubber band because of the fact that he did it for someone else and not because he truly wanted it. There's going to be beliefs that leave you stuck inside this toxic relationship, and beliefs that you fought against yourself, your mind, your body, and soul for a while now that have left you trapped. These 3 beliefs that we've talked about today, that you're the problem, that you believe that I'm the problem, that this is just